they are trending down. And what I mean by that is Jim Harbaugh is trending down. It is wearing on people. And the pace of it wearing on people, I think, is picking up. But I just don't think it is to the point to where USC's coach is. You know, they're talking about they got a game against Washington and Washington State. And it looking like that they may not make it out of there with a win. And if they don't, he might be out, or he possibly will be out as coach. Jim Harbaugh is not there at this point. He is not. He's not looking over his shoulder. Let's just say that. They don't have anyone really lined up to come in there, because you got to think about Jim Harbaugh was the big fish. He was the big signing that they wanted. He was a Michigan guy. He played there. He played quarterback for them. So all of this, him and his khakis were everything that Michigan fans wanted. We saw what he did at Stanford, and the success that they had, and we saw the success that they had in San Francisco when he played when he coached in the NFL, and that has not transferred over into Michigan. So for the next person that is going to follow behind that, it will have to be someone big name like a Urban Meyer, or it's just a hell of a young coach coming in like a Lincoln Kennedy or something like that, and just change the mindset, of the fan base. But Jim Harbaugh is not going anywhere anytime soon. I'll say that. But this Michigan squad, they got to get it together. Shea Patterson, I already said I was already ready for McCaffrey just to play. He ended up getting hurt, and he got hurt last year. So I don't know what's up with McCaffrey and the injuries. But Shea Patterson and whoever else, new quarterback, just go ahead, start over at this point. You lost, this game. I will always root for them against Ohio State, but Ohio State looks like a monster right now. And just being a Michigan fan, yes, I will go in there with a ounce of, thinking, yeah, we're going to win this game. But being realistic right now where we are, and unless we can turn it around dramatically, right now where we are, we shouldn't even be on the field with Ohio State at this point. And then you got some of these other games in the Big Ten that you're going to have to, win. And we didn't show it against Wisconsin. So I'm just not feeling too confident at this point. So I'm just looking at it as that who's next in line? Who's going to be the quarterback? Is it McCaffrey? Is it someone else? Whoever it is, we need to just go ahead and start with that person and seeing what's going to happen with the team going forward. But yeah, there is a lot of people that are highly upset in Ann Arbor and in surrounding parts in Michigan. In the Wait a Minute Show chat room, Mochi said, Jim spending too much time touring the role with the team instead of coaching them up. Vince says FSU may have a opening soon. They playing in a half-empty stadium in Tallahassee. So, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be, this thing. But Rich Rodriguez was around for a little bit. Brady Holt was around for a little bit. And they really wasn't moving off. And if Jim Harbaugh is doing better record-wise, even though it's not the whole outcome of what everyone wants, but record-wise, if they're still doing better, he still has bought himself some time. And they're not ready just to move off of that. That's just the straight up truth, about it. And I'm just speaking right now as of today. Now they could change it around going later on into the season, but as of today, we're in trouble. And I put it on social media. We fugazi, bruh. We are fugazi. We get this high ranking or whatever, and then we struggle against teams. Fugazi. So there's my output. There's my thought. On the Michigan Wolverines, I still will always cheer for them. And every game, whoever they got up next, I'm gonna cheer for them. But it is what it is. This is the honest thing that's going on with the Michigan Wolverines and Jim Harbaugh. Now, what's going on with someone else is LaMelo Ball. Yes, we are talking about a Ball child again. No, not Lonzo, not LeVar, not Jello and all that stuff. We're talking about the baby of the family, the youngest one of the family, and that is LaMelo Ball. And there was a recent report about an NBA exec where this NBA exec has not been named. I don't know what this exec does, but they are an exec, and they were talking about LaMelo and possibly, because next year he will be eligible for the draft, that they could see him being the number 1 overall pick. And now this has a lot of people talking. Obviously, this brings LeVar back into the situation, but we're not going to talk about him right now. This is really going to be a focus, on LaMelo. And here's my thing, with LaMelo, and just seeing when he was, 15, 16 years old, and seeing those videos of him pulling up from half court, pointing it out and making shots, you already knew the kid could play, and it was just, I guess the biggest thing probably really was just a maturity factor. And they're saying that, this guy is starting to be what he needs to be in the NBA at this point. And he's still young. They went, he played in Lithuania. That didn't work out. His father didn't want him playing in college. He had other ideas, for him. They had that league and all that stuff. But offensively, you can see LaMelo is ahead of what Lonzo was. Now, is he the defender that Lonzo is? I don't think so. Could he get there? Yes. Again, he's still young. He's still got another year left, so he has a lot more developing. But seeing some of the stuff like on the reality show that they had and how his father was on him about his attitude at times, I think that helped out. Him playing with grown men, I think that helped out. And I think some people look at this NBL league that he's in and they're like, well, it's not college basketball. But at the same time, here's what I'm going to say about the college basketball. Yes, you're right. The college ranks are probably better than this NBL league that he's playing in at this juncture, but he is getting a lot of time spent being a basketball player, more than what a college basketball player would get. Then you got to also think, too, is that for what he would be, it's not like he's going to be a 2-3 year guy. He is going to be a one and done kid anyway. So he was going to be better than a lot of the guys in the college ranks anyway. So he's losing some of that experience in college, but it's not like it used to be. It's not like it once was of the talent. I think the biggest thing he probably would have got from it is if he played in March Madness. But I do think possibly he has the potential to be a number 1 overall draft pick. I'm not going to say, definitively he is, but you could see it. You could just see he was a little different than his brothers. And that he might be the best ball out of all of them. And if his maturity level is where it needs to be, if his game is where it needs to be, I even think his father, LeVar, I think he learned something, from this, is that he will go into the situation and probably step back, a little bit, and it won't be the same situation. There ain't going to be no triple Bs and no shoes, being sold with triple Bs on it and all that stuff. And sometimes you learn from that first experience what not to do and what to do. So LaMelo being the first overall pick, hey, maybe. In the Wait a Minute Show chat room, you got someone say he's gotten tall and he's already been a disruptor. I'll predict he'll be better than Lonzo. Yeah, and that's why I said, like, you could see it when he was in high school. You could just tell, he had it. And he just got to be able to hone it and control it and know what to do with it, how to do it. And Lonzo will help him with that. Lonzo will help him be a professional. And just seeing what, his brother went through, being part of this reality show that they had, in the past. He'll probably be able to deal more, with the stuff that goes on day to day in a better way. So, yeah, it helps. It helps seeing someone go through it, before you. So, hey, I just hope everything works out for the kid. And I don't want any of these kids to, go through these situations where people point them out, oh, you used to be that guy, because they're more than just, what you see on TV. But sometimes, we forget that in society, and then we just be like, oh, that guy, And speaking of that guy, it moves me into my last thing about basketball. And ladies and gentlemen, side note, first, you listen to the Wait a Minute Show with your man, Jelani J.B. Bodie. But my man, Tyler Butler from Sports and Culture, actually put this on social media. We are 29 days, so we are less than a month away from NBA basketball, ladies and gentlemen. So that will be in full bloom with the NFL, and we're going to have all this crazy stuff with teams like the Lakers and the Rockets and Giannis, and, what's going to happen with the Raptors when they completely collapse, the Clippers. I mean, it's so much that will be going on in the NBA this upcoming season. So do not forget that. And, in less than a month, we'll be doing NBA talk a lot more. But one thing that I want to talk about is Markelle Fultz again. So Markelle Fultz, there's a video that was just posted out there of Markelle Fultz with the Orlando Magic. That's where he is now. And the big thing about Markelle Fultz was his shooting, where he got into this, I think people call it the yips or something like that. And his shooting motion and anything else that dealt with it was just, it went away. Something happened. It was something mentally, and he had been working on this. And now the Orlando Magic have put out a video of him at practice with guys like DJ Augustine and other guys from the Orlando Magic. And it looks like Markelle may have gotten his jumper back. His form looks a lot better. It looks night and day. But we have seen this is that, he shoot good in practice, but when the game comes, it's a different atmosphere. But we're at this again. And with the Magic, I'm hoping that he doesn't have to go through a season like another previous Orlando Magic and Nick Anderson went through, where he got the yips or whatever you want to call it, to where he lost his confidence in shooting, where it affected everything that was going on in Nick Anderson's life. And Markelle seemed to be, possibly going through that as well. But in this video, he looks good. I hope he is good. I hope he plays well. I hope this is something that's behind him. He can help out this team in Orlando Magic. That they were a playoff team last year, and for a hot second, it was very hot and quick. They gave a scare, in that first round. So a guy like Markelle Fultz could help this team to make the next step and maybe build some pieces around Markelle Fultz so that the Orlando Magic can be in this conversation when it comes to teams of the East. You got Boston, you got Philly, you got Milwaukee, you got Toronto, you got Indiana, you got Orlando, Brooklyn will be talked about pretty soon. Once when KD get back, that will probably be next year, but Kyrie is there. So you want to get them in the mix as well, and you want to hope that this kid, Markelle Fultz, can actually get it together and be, what everyone expected him to be, a number one overall draft pick that has success in the NBA. So, Lopan, why you looking at my phone, bruh? I mean, you're not using my phone. We're not having this conversation right now, so don't even look over here. So